Okay, this is the Monsoon. I've just got it basically set up just to show that it is working. The current date is Sunday the 29th of December at 13:19. That's proof of Google saying it. And there you go. Right, it's all set up, ready to go. It's all plugged in the back. This is your cycle button. This is how long you want it to cycle: every 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, 16, 20, obviously 24. And then you've got the duration. So every 2 hours, or every every 2 minutes, for 4 minutes, for 8 minutes, 12 minutes. Seconds. I've got it set there for 20 seconds. Right, so there's the jets. As I say, they could do with a little bit of a clean. But when you buy the whole set, this is what you get: all this plus the new suction cap. And all you do is you need to just basically, because these are on so tight, just snip a little bit of the piping off. Put the piping in hot water so it softens the rubber, and then when you get your new set, squeeze them straight on. You've got loads and loads of piping here, so like I said, what you're probably better off doing is, if you're going to use 4 nozzles, I would literally have the shortest possible, because obviously the more nozzles, the more pressure you'll lose, and obviously the longer it's got to go push all the way through these. Again, more pressure you'll lose. Right, so to turn it on, just switch on and on. There you go. Again, so it is spurting out. Like I said, you've got to. There you go. Quite powerful, but this is what I say. This is why I think you'll need to either clean the valves or replace them, because when it comes out, it just spurts, and you can see it. You can't more than you feel. When you put your hand here, even at this range, your whole hand would be just like soaking wet just from the moisture that comes off it. So that's it working. The water's obviously in the bottom of the reservoir being sucked through. You can clean that filter. I'm not sure how you do it. I've looked online. I think you definitely clean that. And then just dry my hands. And then if you want to stop it, just press the off button. This here is for the remote control, and then you've got your cycle button. When you put on cycle, it will always go through a cycle of how long you want it first, and then once it's done that, it will then revert to the cycle button. So if I wanted it, say if I set it for 8 hours, it would come on in 8 hours again and do that. There you go, it's done, just done 20 seconds and it's gone off now. I mean, the lowest I can set it is 1 hour. So I think the timer on that, I think that allows it to. What's that doing? After 20 seconds, that should just turn off. This that's the bit there. That one there, that's for the remote control. You can buy the remote control to do it manually, so you can sit obviously in your chair and do it. I've never done it really. I don't think I see the point in the remote control if you've got all these set up. Having said that though, I wouldn't always rely on these. So all I did when I had mine plugged in, I had it plugged into a digital timer. Digital timer, sorry. Digital timer like this. Excuse the paint drops. And all I did, this is just a normal everyday digital timer that you can buy from Wilkinson's B&Q, and I just simply plug that into the wall, and then the plug from the Exo Terra went straight into there. Now I had this set to come on twice a day for about and for a maximum of a minute a time. You cannot get it any less than these. These digital timers only do for a maximum of a minute. You can set them at seconds, but to get seconds you have to buy one of ProRep's seconds timers, and then basically you can have it coming on twice a day for 5 seconds, or for 10 seconds, or even 1 second you have it coming on for. But I say they are a bit more expensive. These are just bog standard ones you buy from Wilkinson's or B&Q, and that will just literally, it'll come on at your desired time. You can set, obviously, because the digital ones are really good, because you can alter it, so you can have it come on at more times in the day. You can also have it come on different days, so like on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday you can have it come on 3 times, whereas a Tuesday, a Thursday, a Saturday you can have it coming on for twice. So that's a good thing about these. So the only downside is it will come on and stay on and keep power going to this for a minute. So what I did is basically I had this set for, I wanted it for 20 seconds of spraying. So I had that set for 20 seconds. I turned it on and put it onto cycle, and then I plugged that into there, which cuts the power. So then what happens is, if I just turn it off, when this comes up, when this turns on, then at say 8 o'clock in the morning, it turns it on because this last setting was on cycle. So then it knows to go into its cycle period. It's not just bog standard on constantly. You could leave it in that position if you're using a seconds timer, but if I use that one rather than this setting, this overrides these here. So then this would stay on constantly for that 1 minute. So if this was a seconds time that you buy from ProRep for say 25 seconds, you could just leave this on the bog standard on. So when this comes on for 20 seconds, almost 20 seconds, it will just stay on that, and then obviously after 20 seconds that turns off, and that turns off. But say I'm only using a minute timer, I didn't want it to stay on for a whole minute because I'm only having white tree frogs. It was way too much humidity for a whole day. So I had it on the cycle. So when that kicked in, for the minute it was on, it reverted to this, and it did it for the 20 seconds. Then after 20 seconds this would all stop. This cycle light would stay on. Then after say 60 seconds that would click off, and the power to this unit would just go out, and that's how I controlled it. You shouldn't have. It's a known thing with the Exo Terras. Exo Terra, Miss King. I personally prefer to use something like these. You know, I've been using these for years, and very rare do they go wrong. Whereas anything can go wrong. It doesn't matter what the make is, doesn't matter what the manufacturer. They can all go wrong. So I would always back it up by having it plugged into one of them, because it's better to be safe than sorry. Because what you don't want is this to fail, and then it's constantly just spraying out. And if you look at that reservoir, that takes about 8 to 9 litres. That will just keep running until that's emptied, and you've got 8 litres sitting in the bottom of your Viv. Okay, so that's just that all working for you. So I'll just press it on again for you. And you hear it spraying. Like I say, you can just see them. They just swivel around as well. But personally, I would just replace them rather than clean them. I just don't know. I don't know how effective cleaning is. But it was up until I started to realise and started to use purified water. Just undo one. Even if you can sort of make it out on the camera there. Very, very fine. Very, very fine hole in there. They do come off. You can clean them. You can take the whole thing off. I suppose you could leave them in some sort of descaling solution, but then again, it's how well do you know that's been washed out and diluted down with normal water before you put the pipe back on, put it in your tank, and then you have it spraying over your reptiles or your amphibians, and there could be still a trace of potentially harmful descaling chemicals spraying over them. Okay, that's it. Thanks. Bye bye.